All right, hello and welcome everybody back to the stream. I'm your CFI and I really appreciate all you guys stopping by. Today we're going to be in the beautiful 777 by PMDG. This is the 777 freighter, and we're going to be going from Amsterdam over to Frankfurt. We're using the Fly Tampa's Amsterdam scenery, which is a 2020 scenery, so there might be a little bit of performance problems as it hasn't been updated for 24. But we're going to be doing that, and we're going over to Aerosoft's Frankfurt. The add-ons, or actually the hardware I'm using today, we'll be using the Moza AY210 yoke. You guys can find the profiles in my Discord. If you guys want any of my profiles, there's some good ones online as well. And we're actually going to be trying out Tony's, it's called Tony's profile, I believe, for the 777. I've made a couple adjustments here and there for what I like, but for the most part, it's the default one that he made online. You can find it on flightsim.to. It's Tony's 777 profile for the Moza AY210 yoke. That yoke or anything from Moza can be purchased with the link down below. Would really appreciate you guys if you use those links down below. We're also going to be using a ProDesim 737 throttle set. We're using the Winctrl PAP 3, which is a 737 autopilot panel. We're using the PU Air Korea 777 lighting panel. We'll be using that. And the Wingtrl rudder pedals made for the Airbus, the 32 Orion rudder pedals. So that's all the hardware. If you guys want anything like that, please look at the description. All my hardware is listed down below, so be sure to go check out all those links. I got discount codes for everything you like. Contrail, ProDesim, Pimax, all that kind of stuff. So be sure to check that out. On the software side, obviously we're using the PMDG 777. I already said the Fly Tampa Amsterdam, and we're using the Aerosoft's Frankfurt EDDF. We're also using this little cool one called GFX, which apparently my email got kicked out of, but we'll re-log in off stream here. I'll just put it to the side and log in. But you can see that TryTry is actually in the chat right now, so appreciate you stopping by, TryTry. This is his tool that he's made. It'll do things like better contrails, engine vortice or engine condensation, wing vortices, all sorts of cool extra stuff you guys can check out. If you guys go check out the last stream we did on the 777, the shared cockpit one, on final we had a lot of wing vapor and a lot of really cool stuff going on. So if you want to see it in action, go check it out there. We're going to leave it in its realistic mode, which basically means if the weather is suitable, the effects will take place. I'm just going to log into it really quickly. Oh, that's my gear switch there. Well, it's going to authenticate, so it's going to do its thing. But we'll come back to that. It's been on in the other streams as well. So yeah, really appreciate all you guys stopping by this late night stream. So thank you guys so much. Dad Aviation, hello, welcome. TryTry, hello. Thank you for being here as well. Thanks for the early access of GFX. GFX comes out, I believe, in 5 or 4 days now. You guys will be able to pick it up. So thank you guys for that. Maddie, hello, and SNA Aviation, hello, welcome. Thanks so much for stopping by. We're going to be doing Emirates 9903. This is a real-world flight from Amsterdam to Frankfurt, as we've mentioned. And I found this real-world flight through this tool called iFly Scheduler. It's a free tool you can use to find free flights. I just searched for 777 freighters, flights under 2 hours, and this is one that popped up, and I had the scenery, so I said, let's do it. That'll be a cool one to do. So yeah, iFly Scheduler, a really cool little tool I used to find this real-world flight today. Anyways, the airplane is all cold and dark. There's a GPU connected to it, and we'll go ahead and start getting this thing all ready to go. First things first, we're going to go up to the overhead panel. We'll select our battery power on. And we can select our primary and secondary external powers on. Head over to the FMS, the EFB. And we're using the Hughes, this is a Hughes texture, I believe. The I don't know if I have the cockpit installed. I think I have the just the livery is the Hughes livery, the Emirates livery. So we'll be using that. We'll request our data. And the Phoenix Alex says, super excited for GFX. Yeah, I think you'll like it. For all you guys who make content out there, I think you'll really grow to like it. It makes everything a little more realistic looking. And now that we have that information filled out, our FMC, as it comes to life, we will slowly get everything built up in there. Let's go back to the overhead panel, though, as we're not quite finished. What we're going to select on are cabin utilities, coffee pots, all that kind of stuff. ADIRU, this is the equivalent of an IRS, so we'll click that on so we can start aligning that. APU can stay off. Emergency lids can be on at this point. Our window heat can all be selected on at this point. Hydraulics will stay all off as we don't need any hydraulic power right now. The seat belts are off. No smoking is on. Lighting down here is all set. We'll select our navigation light on. I'm going to do that with my PU Air Korea lighting panel there. At the top, we'll select our our fire test. No screens online just yet. You'd get a fire system test on the iCast there. All our ignitions and starters are all normal right now. Fuel jettison is deselected. Fuel panel is deselected. Anti-ice is all automatic, and our lights down here are all preset for us what we need to do as well. Looking at the top of the right, and basically the whole right-hand side of the overhead panel is all automatic. We don't really need to touch anything in there. It will be done for us. Wondering why my GFX isn't coming online. I might have to load. Maybe I have to download the most current version. I thought I had it, but maybe I don't. I'll try one more time here. We'll see what happens. I'll leave that on the side. Anyways, our overhead panel is all set up and ready to go. Head over to the FMC. As I said, guys, the performance at Amsterdam is not going to be the greatest, at least for me. So there might be some more hiccups and stuff like that. Yeah, so wait for the audio test there. Yeah, so it looks like GFX won't be on this stream. I probably have to do the most recent update, which I thought I did, but that's okay. We're going to click FMC. It wants our position, so we'll click position, next page, and we'll throw it in there. We'll select route, request, sim brief, payload, fuel, and select route. Alright, hello, welcome. Hey dude, you have settings guide tutorial? I don't. I probably should make one. I've had many requests to do that. I'm really actually behind on a lot of content, to be honest. I still have to make a few other videos, but yes, we will be making a tutorial on my settings, at least the ones I have. That's been imported Amsterdam to Frankfurt. We're UAE 9, or it's Emirates of 9903. Obviously, it's 3 in the morning in Amsterdam, so we have no ATC, but we are connected to VATSIM in case anyone does come online. We'll press load. Alrighty, get the weather over here. And actually, I'm going to use the tool. We'll just use Navigraph. Let's see. Departing 18 left, 22, and 24. I don't fly to Amsterdam quite often enough to know which one they would probably use. The 24 is 11,000 feet long. It seems pretty close to us, so I'll just select 24. I don't know if it's the correct one, but it'll be good enough for me. That'll be the Rend 2 Zulu. That one's 36 left. So obviously SimBrief did not plan one of the actual in-use runways. Let me quickly check what other runways I can use here. Or what other SIDs I can use, that is. Oh, it looks like the Rendy 2 Sierra, so we'll go back and we'll click the Rendy 2 Sierra. Fox Golf, November Papa Romeo, Sierra. 24. So we'll select route. We can activate and execute that now. Departure arrival, index, go over to arrival. And over there in Frankfurt, they are using runway 7 left and 7 right for arrival. We're on the Dixie 1 Alpha. And that is also not a current not a current choice. They have us on 25 left for arrival, SimBrief says, which is not the case due to the weather. So we'll just quickly change that. Let's see. 1 Tango should work for us. I'm going to press erase. Dixie 1. Let's see. Oh, sorry. Dixie 2 Charlie. Just quickly checking it out here. We'll do 7 left. So we'll do Delta. That one right there. 7 left. And we'll take it via that should be fine. We don't really need a via actually. Oh no, we'll take it from TIU. Should work out for us. It's funny that SimBrief doesn't give us the correct stuff ever. Yeah, that's fine. We'll just take it via like that. We'll execute that. And I can do a 470 intercept as well, which might work out for us even better. 7 left, 470. Yeah, let's do that. I'll execute that already. That got rid of everything. Let's do it again. Interesting. There we go. We can connect that up. Be good enough. Anyways, route, performance. We're going to accept that. And our flight level is going to be 350. Welcome everybody in chat. Thank you so much for joining. Michael Foley, hello. Aviation and Tech, hello. Thank you for stopping by. So what's up? Nothing much. Just going to do a little late night flight tonight and call it a day. Alex says hello from Montreal. First time live, finally. Alex, thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you're doing well in Montreal. Probably got the same nice, beautiful rain that we're getting all month. Thank you for stopping by, though. Appreciate you. Dominic, hello. Welcome. Nyla says, I have issues with the Wasp crash, but only in the PMDG, both 777 and 37 in 2024. I haven't had one just yet, which I'm probably jinxed myself, but I haven't had one just yet. I know of a few friends that have it, including Dominic had one the other day, but I haven't had one just yet. We're taking 24, import, calculate. To takeoff 2, cell temp of 50, it's just spit out 83.8. If it's not, we need more. 84 is perfect. CG, flap 5. 49, 50, 53. 49, 50, 53, matches, perfect. 4.5 on the trim. And it probably won't let me because I have no hydraulic pressure, so we're about to push anyways. We're pretty much ready to go. Might as well get everything started up. So hydraulic wise, we'll select the left one to auto, wait for the fault. Right one to auto. We are running with random system failures. We'll see if we get anything. All right, we'll select our left forward fuel pump on here, and we'll select the APU on. Perfect. With that, the belts can come on as well. Hold off the beacon for now, as we're not really connected to the tug just yet. And we'll set in 4.50 on our trim. Burke, hello, welcome. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you're doing well, Burke. I saw some your pictures there. The looked like a Piper of some sort. You're flying. That looked pretty sweet. Matt says the rain is better than the snow Calgary was getting the other day. They had a yellow warning for snow. Yeah, no thanks. You can have the snow. I don't want that. No thanks. Takeoff gross weight is going to be 511. 0.8. Perfect. 450 is still set. That's all good. Let's run some checklists really quickly here. Pre-flight check, oxygen is tested, flight instruments check, parking brake. We'll select that on. And we'll stop at there. I'll do the rest of this. So 153 is the V2. Heading runway 24. 237. Have we ever heard that before? This departure is going to stop us off at... Looks like 65, but there's no one here, but I'll put in 65 for the time being. And the normal speed restriction of 250 below 10. Actually, that's the wrong one that I had pinned. Let's see here. Yep, 250 below 10, it's still 6,500, so that's perfect. That's all been plugged in. We select our left flight director on, our right flight director on, our auto thrust on, LNAV and VNAV, and we are good to go on this panel. You can see it also says Toga Toga, LNAV, VNAV, so we're good there as well. And we'll go ahead and close all our doors. Release the ground power. Close all the doors. Doors are all closing. Set the altimeter with B. And I've heard this is a bug on the triple. We'll get this main door. I think someone said you have to open it again. Oh no, it closed. Press arm. So it looks like it worked that time. So that's good. We can go ahead and park brakes on. We can remove the chocks. We can get GSX all ready to go. I just did the update before this stream. Hello, Miranda. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for stopping by. Falcon says my mic stand just broke, of course. Falcon says, hey CFI, I know you might get this a lot and don't have real experience flying them, but based off the sim experience, do you prefer Boeing or Airbus? Depends what I'm in the mood for. I don't mind either one. It's if I'm in the mood to like do a little bit more. Well, I mean the 777's pretty automated, like an Airbus as well. So it depends what I'm in the mood for. If I have my yoke set up, I'll do Boeings, and if I have my stick set up, I'll do Airbus. But they're kind of the same to me. The 37 is a little bit different. So I like the 37 and the 727, but in terms of the heavies and the Airbuses, they're basically all the same. I'm going to try to fix my mic stand real quick. It looks like GSX is of course going to give us problems as usual. Alright, I kind of fixed my mic stand. It's going to be a little janky, but we'll get it to, it'll work for the most part today. I'll have to order a new one though. I was about to start a long haul, but overnight 777-300 was thinking about 12 plus hours. Any recommendations? No, I have zero recommendations. I never do long hauls, so I have no idea where you should even go. I mean, you can do like, I guess, about like Vancouver, Tokyo or something. That'd be kind of a cool one. But yeah, it looks like we're quite done for with the pushback. But let's just finish the checklist, and then I'll just slew ourselves back because GSX has failed us once again. The MCP is set. Takeoff speeds are in. City pre-flight's completed. The trim is set 450. Takeoff briefs not required today, and we'll select the beacon on. Taxi chair. The checklist is completed. We can go ahead and basically get ready to push. Get the rest of the fuel pumps on. We'll come down here and select our transponder to transponder mode there, and that's basically it for that. We should be ready to push. Cycle the parking brake, maybe that'll fix GSX, probably not. Parking brake is set. Yeah, that's a good one, Maddie. That's not a bad one. Alright, so what we're going to do today, because GSX has failed us once again, I'm just going to go ahead and just slew us back for today. I know this is not cool, but we're just going to do that, because that's just going to be simpler. So we'll set the parking brake. We'll go ahead and start up our engines. We'll start number 2 first. I'll put the sounds up. You guys can hear the beautiful sounds here, and we'll spool number 2. Let me make sure my sounds are 100% so you guys get the full sound of the airplane there. Packs are shutting down. We have oil pressure now, so start number 2 with fuel. Mute my mic. Some of the best sounds in the sim is that Boris Audio Works pack. We'll start number 1 now. We'll get that oil pressure rising once again. Give you guys some outside sounds. Sorry for your ears. Pretty good sounds. I'll lower the volume there so your ears are okay. We'll go ahead and do our after start flow, which is probably one of the more difficult ones. We select the APU off. Select our auto brakes to RTO. Flap 5. That's about it. That's the after start flow of a 777. Give you guys some flap sounds. Let me increase the volume again. Perfect. Alrighty, so we'll lower those sounds once again. And we are basically ready. Taxi. We'll do the before taxi checklist here. We got the anti-ice's auto recall is checked. Flight controls. We'll go full left, full right, full down, full up, full left, full right, and neutralize. Everything's good on the flight control page. We'll select the flight controls checked, and the ground equipment is clear. Go to the before takeoff checklist as completed as well. We'll leave on the after takeoffs, and we'll put it back on the blank screen. We'll always leave it blank as the if an engine problem happens or something happens, this bottom screen will pop up automatically for you. It should alert you that something may not be correct there. So go legs page on this guy, legs page on the second guy. Parking brake is off. We can get moving. We'll go over to 122.8. Thank you guys for all being here, by the way. If you're just joining us, we're doing a very short little flight, a rear-world flight from Amsterdam to Frankfurt. We're using... Sorry, my mic stand's a bit broken. I have paid for a new one, but it won't get here till tomorrow. But we're going to be using Aerosoft's Frankfurt, and we're using Fly Tampa's Amsterdam. Put some random Allen keys in my mic stand. I'm getting it to work that way, so we'll use it for today. Just deciding if I want a boom style, like an overhang. I don't think that's going to work. I think I'll just get the regular one. That's a version of what I have now. $56. Holy. Alright, new mic stand is ordered. Comes in tomorrow. Or Montreal, New Delhi. Yeah, you can do that. That's definitely a long haul. Maddie says, just to let you know, I noticed that you didn't oh, thank you for that. I always forget that. Perfect. Eddie, hello, welcome. RNF Stars has joined at the right time. Thanks so much, RNF Star. Thanks for watching and coming in here. We're just taxiing out runway 24 in Amsterdam. Would be departing shortly here. This is Fly Tampa's Amsterdam. It's a 2020 scenery, but we're using it in 24, and it has a little bit of performance issues, but nothing crazy. It works for the most part. You can see the grass on the side here doesn't look a whole lot good, but yeah, it'll be good enough. It'll be better than default, that's for sure. Just replugged in my Wing PDC, so now I can control this whole EFIS panel here, or wing control I should say. Now ideally I should be making radio calls, but there's one guy here, and as long as I don't hit him on a taxiway, we should be fine. We will make a call about entering runways though. All that important bit. Skipple traffic, it's Emirates 903, taxiing runway 24 via Sierra. Skipple. Brooks says the Netherlands question mark? Yes, we're in the Netherlands, Amsterdam. Do you know when Bluebird 7575 is coming out? No idea. I wish I did, but no clue at all. Doing Air Canada 2, Tokyo, Toronto, a little too nervous to fly to Japan on Sunday night, their time on VATSIM. Oh, that's fair. I think you'd do fine, though. Skipple traffic, it's Emirates 9903. We're lining up runway 24. Skipple. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and get our turn off lights on, taxi light on, strobe light on. We can get our TCAS all the way to TA and RA. We are clear on the right hand side, clear on the left hand side. And we'll take this one just to give ourselves a better alignment here. So we got a KLM triple over there. He's speeding on down. Not quite full length, but this will work just fine. Oh, I forgot to mention we are using reshade, by the way, guys. So reshade is for all the filters. But if you guys are ready to go, we're gonna get the engines all spooled up, get the flex emojis in chat if you got them. If you guys are members of the channel, would thank you so much for that. Put the sounds up a little bit for you. And there's Toga. We got thrust reft. A little bit of yoke forward down pressure. Knots, hold. Ring lights on. Everyone rotate. And with the positive rate, we'll simply gear up. Go and actually pitch the airplane to what the actual angle it's supposed to be. This Tony Moza yoke profile is quite heavy. It's actually pretty cool to use. Now we're on the flight direction. We got thrust reft, LNAV, VNAV speed. Put the sounds a little bit lower for you now. Oops, didn't mean to click that. Should be expecting this left turn coming on any second here. We're going to nose down just a bit more. Get that left turn started here. Flap one. Flap 0. Simple traffic at Emirates 9903, 3000 climbing 6500, and we're out southeastbound. Last call.
Schiphol traffic KLM 843, heavy lining up runway 24, ready to serial departure.
There's transition. We're on standard now. Still hand flying. She hand flies quite well. What we're going to do is we're just going to change it. Just give ourselves a bit of a break there. And we'll start turning left for it. We're going to nose down a little bit as well. Let's fix our trim. Good thing is we're flying cargo, so no one will complain. And I'm going to do the next one here. There we go.
KLM 843, takeoff runway 24, runway 20 departure, KLM 843 is Schiphol traffic.
Alright, we're going to keep climbing on up as no one's here to give us any different. So we'll go up to 35,000 feet. as we planned. I've hit the Alt Intervene button. And we're through our takeoff here, so we get our runway turnoffs and taxi light all off. Anti-ice is automatic, don't have to worry about any of that. Gears up, flap 0, auto brakes off, the after takeoff checklist is completed. We'll go ahead and just do it through here to make sure, there we go. And we can go ahead and select the autopilot on. Pretty cool departure, if I don't say so myself. Nice and fun to hand fly those. M&N Sports Store, I think I missed your comment there. Thank you so much for stopping in. Hope you're doing well. Through 10,000, go lights off. We'll check the pressurization here. Awesome, the belts can stay on. Everything is good to go. I heard that if you max out the flight hours for a week, then you don't have to go on the next trip, but you still get paid. I've never had that happen to me. They're very good about not doing that to you, but it probably could happen. I'm not sure. Michael says, hate using fictional liveries, but found the super awesome Remembrance Day livery for the 777-300. Yeah, it does look pretty cool. I've seen that one. I actually have that one as well. It looks really, really cool. Henry, hello. Hello seem to always manage to get here just after takeoff. No worries. I hope you stay here for the landing. It won't be too long. Maybe about 55 minutes mid-flight now. Maddie says, notice you decided to show the trim reference speed. What changed your mind about that? Just because it flies so awkwardly without it. And without the real... I do have force feedback yoke, but it doesn't have a 777 feel to it, I guess. You can't feel when the airplane's really trimmed out at all. It's just easier to have it there. I might turn it off. We'll see. But for the time being, we'll keep it there. Also, Maddie, you're saying if you click the trim, it syncs to your speed. It doesn't do that for me. Like if I disable the autopilot here, if let's say I'm over there, right, and I click my trim, it doesn't sync right to where I am. I have to physically move it back to where I want to be. But I'll select the autopilot back on. Henry says, do you say flaps up or flap 0 when you're flying in the CRJ? We say flap 0. This one probably says flap up because it actually says up on here, but in the CRJ it actually says 0. It's 0, 1, 8, 20, 30, 45. So they probably in the Boeing say up, but I'm just going to say flap 0 so I don't screw up in real life. Maddie says you have to be within 5 knots already. Ah, I see. I see. Aiden, hello, welcome. Thanks for stopping by. What is up to everyone in chat? Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday to all you guys. Yeah, appreciate all you guys being here. It is a pretty nice Saturday night. I didn't get called in reserve today. I am on reserve again tomorrow, so we'll see what happens with that. Got myself a Cessna Grand Caravan yesterday. I have been flying it the entire day. It's awesome. Yeah, I hope you enjoy it. I've heard a lot of good things about it. I'm not too big on the prop stuff. Unless it's A2A, I'll probably buy anything A2A. But yeah, a lot of people said very good things about it. So hopefully you're enjoying that for sure. Mike, hello, welcome. Thanks so much for stopping by. I hope you're doing well this Saturday evening. So if your speed is 320 and the reference speed is 315, clicking the trim is either in either direction will set the reference speed to 320. It's meant to help you get the trim exact for not for large movements. I see. I see. If you guys want, I'll go ahead and post my my reshade file that I use. I'm going to post my reshade in my Discord under the general chat. And that is the reshade profile I use. I've tweaked, it originally was a roll flyby, but then I went ahead and tweaked it a little bit. How do you try to deal with stuff like allergies while flying if you get them often during spring? I'm not too terrible, but there are some people that they bring like nose sprayers, like nasal things that you can kind of open up your sinuses. Some people do that. Some people, you can take medication for it as long as it doesn't cause any drowsiness. I would run the medication by our aviation medical examiner, and if they deem it's fine, then you can take that as well. But there's many ways to get around it. Matt says if you're flying in the Star in the RJ with exact speed constraints all the way, would you fly it in descent mode or still vertical speed? If we're descending via the Star, usually we're still in vertical speed. But if we get when we're a little bit lower, and we're not really concerned with, basically, if you're not concerned with altitude constraints, then descend works quite well. Descend mode, but if you're concerned with altitude and speed constraints, it's usually easier just to do vertical speed. And if you have VNAV, you can do that too. But yeah, usually vertical speed, and then once you get through like 8,000 or like when you're a bit lower and you're not really concerned with any altitude constraints, like just descend 4,000, and you got to maintain 250. That's where descend 250 comes in handy. You could just go idle thrust. It's kind of the same thing with flight level change in this. Like flight level change is the same thing. And then if you can change your rate of descent, but you're going to have to work the power, and it's a lot more sloppier than just setting a vertical speed and making the restriction yourself. So you could do either one, but vertical speed is what I prefer on the way down. And then if we get given a speed constraint, but no altitude constraint, then speed mode is pretty good for that. Oh, I clicked the wrong button there. We'll select the autopilot back on. Good question though, Maddie. SNA says posted some KLM 77 shots in the Discord. I actually just saw those. They look pretty sweet. Let me go back to it there. Yeah, we need a good 7.8. The Vector one hopefully will come out quite soon. Is that an SOP thing, or is that just up to you? That's up to the pilot flying. Pilot flying is pilot flying. Very few captains will really tell you. No one really tells you what to do. They might insist or suggest. But if you want to use speed mode and you make the constraints, you use speed mode. You do whatever you want to do, but you better make the constraints and the speeds. So yeah, up to you, at least at our company. Max, hello, welcome. What is the typical cruise speed for a CRJ? 290 knots or 310 usually? We don't really cruise in knots. We cruise at Mach numbers. So if we're in the high 30s, like mid-high 30s, we're roughly around the 7.5 to 7.8 range is our normal, 0.75, 0.78. However, we can go up to a maximum of 0.82. 0.82 is our maximum speed above 29,000 feet. The reason for that is, specifically above 29, is because, oh, we got a message here. Reset MCP altitude. Oh, I guess we got a descent coming in here, don't we? Well, looks like we didn't even make it to our cruise altitude here. Just about to make it. And we got the descent coming up, so I'll let it capture and I'll go right back down. But the reason above 290 is because, we'll set 5,000 feet, is because of RVSM requirements. The autopilot is not precise enough past, it's actually an autopilot limitation, past Mach 0.82. We cannot be past Mach 0.82 in RVSM airspace due to autopilot limitations. So that's the fastest we can go is 0.82. But usually we're hanging around 0.75, 0.78, kind of that range. If it's a slower day, like the fuel's very expensive, or we're taking advantage of a tailwind, we can even go 0.68. Usually it depends on the weight. And if you're in the mid 20s, 25 grand, somewhere around there, you can go 0.5, 0.55 around there if you want to go on the slower side. So it all depends on the day and the weight and all that kind of stuff. So. All right, let's go press descend now. I'll press yes. We'll start that. VNAV path. And we're going to start all the way down. So, weather weights plates. Let's go ahead and do that. Electronic flight bag, our arrival weather. It's 270 15 knots. We're taking, what were we choosing again? 7. Why the hell are we choosing 7? Let's go ahead and change that real quick. Dixie 1 Alpha and 25 left. Or is it 25? Yeah, 25 left. We can take it from MEFTO. Drag required. We'll give you a little bit of drag. Let's go ahead and execute that one right there. Perfect. And now we are below the path, so we'll take the drag away. That'll all work out. Good thing we checked, eh? Weather weights plates. So now we're taking runway 25 left. Wind is variable. They got some rain showers there. A few clouds at 3 grand. Reporting some CBs down there. Cumulonimbus clouds as well. 1017 for the altimeter. And we have that preset. Our MDA on Cat 1 is 561. Which we'll set right here in our barometric. I'm doing that with my Winctrl EFIS panel here, so I'm controlling that. I'm impatient and always go to trim 0.8, min 0.8 in CRJ. Yeah, man, just give her. Just give her. Here's the VNAV path coming back in. Wow, that's a pretty big skyrocketing descent that it just put itself in. I'm bringing those boards back out. I thought it would have been smarter to calculate that, but I guess not. Alright, the boards are away again. 561 is set. Good thing we have cargo on board, guys. Good thing we have cargo on board. Alright, let's go ahead and zoom this display in just a little bit. Got some rain showers. They're kind of broken, so you don't really need the weather radar, but if you want to throw it on, we can. Don't think the weather radar works quite. What am I clicking on my keyboard that's doing that? Autopilot's back on. There we go. So we got some weather. Don't know if I trust this that much. Now in real life, if you scan the weather, not the gain, sorry, if you scan the weather down all the way, the weather radar tilt all the way down, you'd actually start to paint all of the terrain around you. I wouldn't have all these blockiness. I'd have all the terrain around me. But it doesn't seem like that works quite like in real life, so I don't really trust the weather radar. In real life, you can also, by the way you use the tilt, you can decide if the weather's above you, below you. You can actually figure that stuff kind of out as well. But we're just going to go ahead and hide that. Seatbelts are still on anyways, so we'll keep those on throughout the whole descent here. It's cargo, whatever. Finally figured out how nav works in this airplane. Oh, really? Yeah, LNAV is super simple in the RJ. Max says, so Mach 0.82 only above 29.0. Is it because the bank angle is limited so the plane can't go fast and turn? I actually don't know what the reason is. All I know is it's an autopilot limitation. I've been told it's just not precise enough past that point. Or maybe it hasn't just been tested past that point. Rather what it is, I just know the limitation and we just don't exceed it, regardless of what the reason is there. And then below 29, if my recollection serves, it's 0.83 or 4, but we never really get that fast anyways. You're gonna stay under the barber pole by quite a bit. Ada says, glad I learned that. Now I know the future. Yeah, man. Plan for tomorrow. Starting out with FedEx feeder, Providence to Martha's Vineyard. That's a cool little route. Then back to Providence. That's a cool one. What airplane is that? This looks like a bumpy one. We'll give him a double ding. Make sure everyone is seated there. The MSFS API doesn't let you tilt at all. Yeah, I've been told that. It kind of sucks. They said they were making some changes in SU5 though, so fingers crossed. Ooh, we'll see. I don't think so, but I don't really trust anything they say. Let's do our descent checklist here. We got the recalls checked, notes checked. Auto brakes of 2 will be just fine. Landed data. Go ahead and we'll do a flap 25 landing. Let's go calculate that real quick. We could do an auto brakes 1 to be honest. There we go. Save the brakes 152. I've been told that apparently the 777 and the 47 that they don't really use flap 30 a whole lot. I don't know if that's true, but I trust the person who told me. So I'll be using flap 25 whenever I can, and flap 30 only when I need it. So that has been set. Landed data and the minimums have been set. Approach briefing will say is completed. We're all complete on that. Lastly is approach checklist. Altimeters are 1017 as preset. We'll go ahead and do that one as well. And we'll leave that for later. Now we're in the eye of the storm here. Not really the eye, sorry. We're in the thick of the storm. There should be a lot of turbulence happening around now, especially this type of cloud. You'd be getting bumped around a little bit for sure. It would not be this smooth in real life. Not a chance. Especially this guy right here. Going into this, you can see how it's being vertically developed. We would be in that vertically developed air. And you'd get hit by that a little bit. You feel a little bit of shaking. Something was happening. Let me make sure my turbulence is still set. I was screwing around with it just to see. Yeah, it's set to realistic, so we should definitely be getting hit by some stuff here. Let me start, maybe I uninstalled RealCat Turb. Yeah, I did. I don't think it'll work now, but I'll try that again. That was Captain Canada's suggestion. FedEx feeder Cessna 208. Oh, okay. Oh, that's a cool one. You know, Aiden, there's actually there's a company called Morningstar. They operate FedEx's Cessnas out of Toronto. You might want to try some of those cool routes. Morningstar and the FedEx 208 Caravan. Maddie says, I was flying the RKC-TY2, no idea what that is, into Detroit earlier, which had speed restrictions all the way down, and I used speed mode, which worked out, but I was kind of fluctuating above and below the profile the whole time. Yeah, especially when we go into Detroit, like the Top Gun 2 arrival we do in the RJ, we just plan it out in vertical speed mode, and it works quite well. You can use speed mode as well, but vertical speed is pretty bang on for a constant descent. Yep, heard from a 777 pilot they use flap 30 most of the time. Oh, okay, so you should be using flap 30 most of the time. Let's go ahead and change it. Yeah, I heard the other way around. I heard 25 is what they use most of the time. We could do a flap 30. That'll bring us down to 144. And let me go ahead and change flap 30, 144. There we go. All right, let's go ahead. Get rid of DF411, DF409. So let's go ahead and get MEFTO. There's no one else here, so I'm just going to go ahead and change it. We'll put it over DF409. We'll execute that. And now it's nice and big circle. Good. Obviously, guys, I have no ATC here, so I can do whatever I want. That's the fun part, but no ATC. Oh, you know, we do have EDDN tower, but no one for Frankfurt, so. And it says, interesting, any routes they do out of Toronto, you know for sure? Love flying out of Toronto? I know for sure they do because I've seen them a million times. I don't know where they go, but I know they fly in out of Toronto. They've been here for years. Look up Morningstar / FedEx Cessna 208 out of Toronto. And you should definitely find some routes. I think they do some interesting routes, to be honest with you. It's all single pilot IFR as well. Let's go and set our auto brakes to auto brake 1 as we've planned and briefed for. But it'll be your standard ILS runway 25 left, locus 11115, and that's approach course of 246, and that has all been set up for us automatically with a 777. The glide path check at Delta Fox 620 is 4,000 feet, quite a high one. The MDA of a Cat 1 is 561 set. MSA is based off the airport, and that's 4,300 feet. Missed approach is climb a direct Delta Fox 290, then direct Delta Fox 685, climb on course 236 to 5,000, a maximum speed of 220 knots, and then left turn direct the CHA VOR at 5,000 feet, a max of 250 knots. In the event of missed approach, I'll select the toggle button, flap 20, with a positive speed, positive rate, gear up, and we'll go from there with LNAV VNAV. 3-degree slope, standard, expecting about 800 feet per minute. Pappies on left, ALSF Type 2 lighting. And on runway 25 left, we're going to be exiting on the right-hand side, I believe is where the cargo... Sorry, on the left-hand side of 25 left is where the cargo is, I'm pretty sure. So we'll exit left... Most likely Romeo 13, and if not Romeo 15, into the cargo section there. I'm pretty sure that's where the cargo is in Frankfurt, on the south end side of the airport. Or am I mistaken? Might be on the north side. I don't know. We'll park somewhere, and we'll call it a day. Max says, I use Active Sky FS, beautiful weather and proper cloud layers, much better than turbulence. You see, I have Active Sky, but I've never found it to be accurate with the weather loading. Like, I'll load in somewhere like where I am real life. I'll take a look at Active Sky, what it's doing, and I'll look in the sim, and it's never correct. But I'll try to give it another shot. I have the 2024 variant. I paid for it as well, but I just never use it. Brick says, I guess BA likes flap 25 for 200DR though. Yeah, I'm not sure. I've heard if you can do a 25, do a 25 if you don't need a 35 or a 30. So, I don't know. We can go back to 25. It doesn't really matter. We have so much runway. So, back to 152. There we go. It doesn't really matter. Either one will make it there. It's 13,000 or whatever feet long, that runway, so we'll have a ton of space. Probably do a flap 10 landing and a 15.5 landing, call it a day. If you really needed to do it, if you had a flap slat failure, we practice those in the sim. Actually, are kind of fun to do. Flap 0, flap 20 landing, flap 8 landing in the RJ. No flap landing. Firefighter, hello. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope your Saturday's going well. We're just on our initial descent here into Frankfurt. I keep forgetting where we're going. We're going to Frankfurt. And we're going to be planning an ILS runway 25 left with the weather today. Max is interesting. It's definitely not 100% accurate, but it's much closer to the real life. In New York, it draws very accurate weather. Okay, yeah, I'll definitely have to give it a try. Burke says no hydraulic landings. Well, no hydraulics. I'm not really going to control the airplane for too long, but there's drag required. We'll flick a little bit of spoiler away there. I slowly add spoiler until the message goes away. Once the message goes away, it has enough drag. And it brought up power immediately, so that's fine. We're going to go ahead and arm our spoiler here. Going to go straight to DF403, take a left turn to MEFTO, and we're going to go all the way around for our approach there. Frankfurt traffic, Emirates 9903, 10,000 descending 5,000. Approximately 15 miles to the northwest. We're planning the ILS 25 left, and we'll report downwind base final. Differential thrust like that one flight, forgot the number. Yeah, you could try that, but in the CRJ, we don't have wing-mounted engines. So when you add thrust in the CRJ, the nose actually goes down for a period of time, and then it'll eventually come back up. It would be a very interesting show. The other thing with that is our engines are pretty much centerline thrust, so you wouldn't get the same effect that that DC-10 had where left engine and right engine would actually cause a roll. Our engines are pretty centerline thrust. When we do our engine out departures or engine out practicing, it only really requires about like a quarter to half rudder to keep the thing centered. It doesn't really require a whole lot. The engines are pretty centerline thrust in the CRJ. They're actually very stable. Or stable design on an engine out, at least. Performs quite good, the 900 on an engine out. Better than you would think. Made but may have passenger has medical emergency change. Yeah, chest pain. Well, yeah, if we had that, I mean, we'd get priority. We're already on descent to land. There's nothing else we could really do. The only thing we could really do here is I'd be able to go 3,000 feet, which I'm going to bug anyways. Flight level change, full boards, and I can request a vector. Maybe something like that, and then a short turn and final. But at this point, if that was the cause of if that was what's happening, everything's going as well as you can. We're already on descent. We're almost at the airport as it is. You want to be sure not to rush anything as the priority of the entire airplane is on you. So, but yeah, you could probably do a flight level change, full speed brakes, request maybe cut this whole thing in half a little bit and take a nice early quick turn. It is still IFR weather. It's supposed to be few 3,000 though, so hopefully it clears up. But you don't want to get too brash with anything. Now, if it was a fire and these winds are 15 knots variable, that's a different story. You could probably just say, screw it. I'm taking runway, coming straight on a 18. I'll just take I would just go straight to the airport, but we'd be too high for that as well. So honestly, it'd be probably better to do this as well. In aviation, the only thing you really have to, not rush for, but be a little bit quicker on is definitely the fires. Everything else that you go through your training for, everything you can have time for. Rapid decompression, get your mask on, establish your communication. Now you got time, all right? You're gonna dial this down a little bit, do a big whack on that, flight level change, spoiler, idle, and then you can come back here and change this to 10,000 or the MEA, whatever is higher there. So you got time, right? Engine out, add in your rudder, the engine, other engine works, you're still flying, you're doing fine, identify it, right? Call the right checklist, do all the right procedures, get into some delayed vectors to, you know, do ADIP, advise ATC, dispatch the in-charge passengers, all that kind of stuff. So you have a lot of time for that kind of stuff. But the fires are the ones where, depending on the type of fire and where it is where you might just say, you know, no time for checklist, no time for this. We're getting this thing on the ground, and it's, you know, all bets are off. Not all the time, depending where the fire is, but those are the ones where you can definitely forego a lot of the procedures just to get the airplane on the ground. And the captain has the ability to do that. They have all the ability in the world to say, nope, no checklist, we're doing this. And they have the authority to overwrite the company's SOP and checklist. There's a lot of extra responsibility and power the captain does have that a lot of people don't know about. Yeah, makes sense. I think there was a private jet that lost hydraulics and did not end well. Yeah, I mean, in the CRJ, we have six hydraulic pumps. There are 2 that are engine driven, and then the rest of them are electric. So 3 primaries and 3 backups. So there's a lot of redundancy in the RJ. It's actually a very well built airplane. Very, 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 very ahead of its time, actually, in some regards, and then in others, not so much. But Burke says, "Yep, Swiss Air." Yeah, that was a very unfortunate. If you guys don't know what me and Burke are talking about, go listen and watch the aircraft investigation on Swiss Air. Just look up Swiss Air MD-11 Mayday episode or something. You'll get it. And they had a fire. Got a little bit preoccupied with determining what the fire was and if they can fight it and all that kind of stuff. And I think they ended up holding, and then the fire broke out even more, and it didn't end well. So if you guys have fires, you know, protect yourself is number 1. Number 2 is divert. So protect yourself, oxygen mask, whatever you want to do. Number 2, divert. While you're diverting, number 3, you can have the flight attendants try to fight it and all that kind of stuff. But get going somewhere first and don't hold. Just protect yourself, divert, and then have someone in the back see if they're able to fight it. If they're not able to fight it, move people away from it and all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of the list of priorities in a fire. Protect, divert, fight. And I've done it in the sim, and a lot of people have done it in the sim, where you get caught up in sim land and, you know, let's see if we can fight this thing. And then you're like, well, you know, it's just a trainer. So they'll be like, why don't you guys start diverting somewhere first before you start fighting it? So, and it's easy to get caught in that, because as pilots, you want to figure stuff out all the time, but fires are not ones that you want to try to figure out immediately. Protect yourself, get going somewhere else, and then you can figure out. Aiden says, about to land in busy Detroit with my general aviation airplane. Ooh, nice, Aiden. I hope you have a good time. Hopefully they can squeeze you in there in Detroit. We're going to select flap 1 here. I hope my flap setting works. Not flap 5, just flap 1. There we go. Nope, that's flap up. There we go, there's flap 1. There's those leading edge slats coming on down here. It's too bad GFX isn't working. Would have had a really good show for you guys. But there was an update to the sim that might have screwed up some stuff. Aviation Bros, hello, welcome. Thanks for the thumbnail, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Guys, go check out Mr. Aviation Bros channel as always. Maddie says, doesn't the CRJ have the cables or connecting the flight controls to the control surfaces? I thought for non-fly-by-wire aircraft you can fly without hydraulics and the controls would just be really stiff. I don't think it has cables. I'm 88% sure it does not have cables connecting. It should just be hydraulically power actuated. Maybe the older ones, but the 900 I don't believe does. But always could be wrong. There's so many things on the system side. We're not maintenance, so as pilots we don't really need to know everything about the airplane. We know how to obviously operate it in a various wider range of circumstances, but our main task is to assess what happened and go to the right checklist. Not necessarily need to know everything about the airplane. System knowledge definitely does help, but sometimes system knowledge can get in the way of you actually actioning checklist properly, because you're, oh, it's probably just this, and you'll start to assume things and do your own procedures, which never usually end out well. Alex says they were dumping fuel. Well, the Mayday one, the Swiss Air. Yeah, they were dumping fuel to. Oh yeah, they were dumping fuel to get on a max landing weight. But again, in the fire situations, you know, they you know, you just run out of time in that case. Let me give myself my own vector here, and that's one of the times where again the airplane can land overweight. It won't be pretty, maybe, but it's either that or burn. So gotta take the lesser of the two evils there. All right, we're in heading select mode. I'm gonna go ahead and just sequence this approach up a little bit here. Intercept course of 246. We'll execute that. Or not Skipple. It's Frankfurt traffic. It's Emirates 9903. We're turning right base and right final now for runway 25 left, Frankfurt. We're about 12 miles back, 5,000 to 3,000. Alrighty, we're going to go ahead and arm our approach mode, low glide slope arm. There's our pseudo glide slope, or way below it, which is great. Burke says, oh, true. Actually, in the sim, I believe you can control the flight controls in the CRJ with hydraulics turned off. Yeah, that's not correct. In the RJ, when the hydraulics are powered down, I mean, have I? It's pretty hard to move that yoke. I haven't even tried to move full down. It will do it, but I actually have, and I've seen someone do it, but I've never gone outside to go check if the surface moved. I don't believe it does. The yoke will move, but the hydraulics off it should not move. I haven't seen them move. Unless there's maybe some residual pressure still in there. But yeah, you guys can fact check it. You guys can check it out. I'm pretty sure there's no cables connecting though. It's all hydraulic in the RJ. There's low captured. Glide slope's alive. Frankfurt traffic, it's Emirates 9903. We're established the ILS 25 left, 10 mile final. Alright, let's go ahead and start slowing up down here a bit. Select flap 5. Glide slope is just coming on in. It's fine, we'll stay just a little bit below it. Alright, there's flap 15. And the gear down. I'm going to go vertical speed. I'll do about 500 a minute. Let that glide slope come on in. Start our recorder here. Quite impressive. Flap 15 under 230 knots is quite impressive, guys. That's pretty cool. There's glide slope captured. We're going to confirm 5,000 feet for the missed approach is set. Let's check route it's alive. We'll select flap 20. And we'll hold ourselves at about a 170 knot final actually here for the time being. Landing checklist. We got the speed brakes are, landing gears down, and green. Waiting on the flap 25 at the very minimum there is what we set. Frankfurt traffic, it's Emirates 9903. We're about a 5 mile final, 25 left, Frankfurt. Bruce is probably not modeled correctly. No, there's a lot of things that aren't modeled correctly. Same with the nose wheel steering. You can have the nose wheel steering switch off and it still taxis. Mateo, hello, welcome. Just arrived on time for a good part. Nice. Yeah, get your landing rates predictions in chat, although we don't really pay attention to those too much, but take a guess in there. I know the 737 has cables, which is why it doesn't have a RAT. You can still fly it without hydraulics and electrics. It's just very stiff. I'm not sure about the RJ. The RJ, we do have a RAT. It's called the ADG, Automatic Drive Generator. We do have one of those. It will auto-deploy with, if it senses the Gen 1 and 2 off there. Brooks says, according to a very interesting source, CRJ9 does have cables, but very little information. Okay, yeah, it'd be news to me. Again, you guys can prove me wrong for sure. I'm definitely not maintenance. Let's go ahead and slow up this flap 25, slowing to our VRF speed there. Mateo says, I heard your podcast the other day. The story of selecting aircraft type and base out of the pilot's hat was surreal. Yeah, thanks, Mateo. I appreciate it. It was a really surreal and nervous experience, but we finally got where we wanted to be, so we're good for the time being, until the next company at least. All right, there's the landing checklist completed. Through 500, we are stable. There's a visual approach, so through 500 be stable is fine, at least in my company. Let's check stable. Runway's inside visual landing. Autopilot is disengaged.
400. 300. 200. Approaching minimum.
Correcting heights.
Minimum.
A little bit of wind on the right hand side here.
30. 20. 10.
A little bit of rudder. Reverse. Auto throw disengage. Holding left rudder with some right aileron input in here. We're on auto brakes 1, so I'm going to go manual braking here. The reversers are stowed. And we're going to exit, I think, I forget if cargo's on the, you know, cargo might be on the right, so we're going to exit to the right. We're going to park somewhere, that's for sure, guys. You guys know me, I don't even taxi usually, but I think I see Lufthansa cargo on the right-hand side there. We're going to go ahead and get clear, but we're going to go ahead and maintain clear of this next runway. Frankfurt traffic, it's Emirates 9903. We are clear 25 left short, runway 25 right on Mike 2. All right, guys, no rushing needed right now, so let's go ahead and get our flaps all retracted. Our transponder can be selected to transponder mode. We can get our landing lights, was never turned on. You know what? I never did even my through 10,000 feet stuff. Oops, I've been talking too much. We'll do that. What do we got here? Auto throttle, TCAS, auto brake. That's all perfectly fine. And the strobe lights can come off at the time being as well, as we're clear of the runway there. We're going to go ahead and stop our recording. I'm using Fly Tampa's Amsterdam, and I'm using Aerosoft's Frankfurt. If anyone knows where Emirates parks for their Sky Cargo operation, that'd be great. Frankfurt traffic, it's Emirates 9903 crossing runway 25 center at Mike 30, Frankfurt. I'm just kind of going where I think they park, just like a general rough guess. Clear on the right, clear on the left. Strobe lights are back on. We'll get past this line. Our tail will be clear of this, and I'll report we're clear. There's Lufthansa cargo over there, so I assume there'd be some other cargo parking probably around this area. And Frankfurt traffic, it's Emirates 9903, clear all runways now. Oh, my strobe lights never turned off, but whatever, I'll turn them off. Medicine, best I can tell you, CRJ does not have manual revision, which is probably why you have 6 hydraulic pumps. Yeah, 3 hydraulic systems in the EDG. Exactly, yeah. I'm pretty sure we don't. I've never heard any mention about it through my training or manuals or anything that I've researched, but hey, I'm always surprised by things that we have on it, so. I wanted to get Fly Tampa EHAM, but thought it was compatible only with 2020. How did you get it installed? I simply just installed it to the community folder, which is not necessarily a recommendable thing, but it worked pretty well. The performance isn't the greatest over there, but for the most part, it worked quite well. So I think you should be fine to do it. But yeah, I just told the installer to install to Microsoft 2024. And it said, okay. A little laggy here for some reason. This is Aerosoft's Frankfurt, though. You guys can check it out on the Aerosoft website there. Definitely have to work on my performance. It's not as good as it should be right now. Sorry guys, I had the sounds way low for you. Put it up for the replay. This wasn't working earlier, but whatever. Alright, let's go ahead and select the APU on. Yeah, and the SimCRJ hydraulic off does nothing to the flight controls. Realism. There you go, my friend. They got it right. I'll go ahead and take this gate right here. Victor 169. Do I know if Emirates parks here? Absolutely no clue. This looks kind of cool though. This is probably where Lufthansa cargo obviously parks, I would assume. That looks like a cool place to park. I way overshot that turn. Way overshot that turn. But we'll get it back, guys. Don't worry. We'll just go a little bit on this side. And we'll come back. I was looking at parking spots. Perfect timing. AP running. Parking brake is set. 1 and 2 is coming down. Let's go up here. Seatbelt signs can be turned off. Our beacon light can be turned off. All our hydraulics can be turned off as well. All our fuel pumps can be turned off, except for the forward for the APU there. And the overhead panel looks like it's pretty much already done. and we connect the ground power and all that stuff and get ready to go. So without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and get this thing restarted up, as we are going to go ahead and do the replays for you guys, just to find a little flight for tonight on Saturday night. MD11, you sparked there, rip. That's sad. I love the MD. Go ahead and get rid of all those warnings. We're going to put this thing back in its landing configuration. I'm going to disconnect from VATSIM, as that's always a good idea. I'm going to quickly do a very, very quick check of my settings. Just see, oh, no, yeah, just see why we're getting such poor performance here. Probably that one. And I'll even, on my end, I'm going to bring up my debug tool. We're going to see what's going on. Alrighty, so should be good to go here. Let's go and get rid of my max. Doesn't matter. I think it's just the scenery. The scenery seems like it's quite demanding. Our VRM is quite high at this scenery. It's 11.7. It's quite high. We're going to go ahead and do the replay for you. The flaps are set, auto brakes, whatever. Spoilers can be set as well. Let's go ahead and press the replay button. And we'll bring it a little bit more in there for you.
25, 200, 100.
And we'll give you guys some outside view here.
30.
Beauty. Little long, but what a beauty of a landing, though. Tons of runway, so I wasn't concerned with runway length. I was able to obviously float and flare it off a bit more due to the runway length available. Our VRM is tanking right now, though. I don't know why. The Aerosoft sceneries are always a little heavy for me. About to get a resource exceeds any second here, guys. Yeah, this was a good nice landing. I don't know why the sounds aren't working, but beauty. Let's do a replay, or another replay, I should say. Your frames? We're at 90 right now. But it's not constant. There's definitely something going on with my setup right now. Or it might be the Aerosoft scenery. We'll see from the tower view. Oh god, it's pretty bad from that view. Beauty. Don't know why the gear fluctuated there, but it was a pretty nice landing. Thanks, Mateo. Appreciate you. It's this airplane will definitely not humble you. You gotta get like a, and there it is, resource. You gotta get like the MD11 or something like that. That airplane will humble your landings for sure. But with this, guys, because this is being a pain with replays and resource exceeds and good old Microsoft Flight Simulator, we're gonna go ahead and call it a day here. I'll give you guys one last good little replay. And then we're going to call it there. I hope you guys enjoyed this short little stream. If not, don't come back. But if so, please press the like button and please come back. We're going to end it with this replay view right here. We'll send my self back there, a little closer. And we will end it there. Thank you guys all for joining. Really appreciate all you guys being here. I got 30 of you guys in here at nighttime, so really thank you for that. We'll be doing some more CRJ streams coming up here shortly as well, although it is a pain in the sim because there's a lot of stuff that's just broken with it. But we will be doing some more of that too. So we will see you guys in the next one. That's it from me. Bye-bye.